corner. Galvin pulling it across. This kick by Sansom, in goes Aldridge, and Houghton! 1-0!
I can't remember getting a call to be a part of the final squad, but I remember the very start of the campaign, and it was actually Sean McCaffrey, the late Sean McCaffrey, was the manager at the start of the campaign, and we played a couple of friendlies against Ukraine and Dublin, and I was involved in them, and then Sean was relieved of his duties from the FAI, and Paul Doolan took over. And he took over maybe just a week or two before the first qualifying round, which was held in Bulgaria. And I remember getting a call for that, and I was delighted to get called up. And because I knew we had a good team at that age. There was a lot of lads, and a lot of lads that have gone on to play senior international football as well. So it was something that I was eager to be a part of, because I knew right from the outset that we had. We had a good chance to do well in the tournament. Well, initially, the first qualifying round, the first two teams qualify, and then they go into the elite phase. And in the elite phase, it was held in Poland, I think, and we were in the same group as Poland, Italy, Ukraine, I think. And you're thinking like people like Al Shahari and that were in the Italy squad, and you're thinking there was only one that went through from the elite qualifying to the actual tournament. So you're thinking, it's going to be a big ask to get through. We end up beating Italy 3-0, and we didn't lose a game in that group, and we topped the group and went through. So beating Italy 3-0 in Poland was amazing, and we were on such a high after it, and that's when we probably thought we have a chance to do something good with this team. I would say it was Sean McDermott, and because keepers always stay together. But that's actually a good question. I'm not 100% sure on, but I'd imagine it was Sean McDermott. But the tournament in itself was amazing. We had a great group of players. A standout moment for me would be John Egan was the captain of the team, and he was an inspirational leader. He was absolutely superb. And before every game, we used to all go into John's room, and he'd give us a motivational talk, and we'd listen to the song or something, and everyone would sing the song together before we depart for the game. And that there was this, that there togetherness summed up that team. It was truly, and look, listen, John's gone on to have an absolute fantastic career, and he was a natural leader, so he was. And there was boys crying in that room before we went out to play in the games. It was truly inspirational stuff, and we were just so lucky to have a group of lads, that bonded so well, and played their part. Everyone played their part, and in the end, I know we got beat in the end, but I think we were a little bit unlucky. But listen, that's tournament football, and but for a standout moment for me for that there was being in the room with 19 other lads, and John gave us an inspirational talk and listening to some music before we went out, and there was tears in the room and all, and you were just busting to put on that green jersey and the Irish jersey, and had so much prideness in it. From time to time, since I've moved back home to Ireland, it's probably as harder to keep in touch in terms of you're not bumping into them when you're playing against them. As I say, I was speaking to Matt Doherty last night and this morning, just firing him over a few messages. So obviously, I've got Sean Murray, who's at Dundalk with me. Derek Williams. Boys, you keep in close in contact with them more on social media. I was actually I text John Egan a couple of weeks back, that there was an article was out on one of the sport websites. I can't remember which one. I just tagged them in it, and we just had a couple of conversations between each other. But I suppose everyone goes down their different paths, and life moves on. It's very hard to keep in contact with people that you don't necessarily see from one end of the year to the other. And certainly since I've moved home, obviously I was at Wolves with Matt Doherty and Anthony Ford, so I was close to them when we were at Wolves and so on and so forth. But it would be a good time to have one of these Zoom reunions, or when everybody's at nothing, and catch up with people. So but we were lucky. We were lucky. We had a great group of lads, and we really did. And as I said, the majority of that group have went on and have decent careers, and some more than decent. So it was a good return as well for that an under-19 side of players to progress into the senior international side as well. So yeah, well, I suppose Morata, the fact that he scored 2 in the semi-final past me probably made him stand out more. But he got a head injury in that game, and I can always remember him. He was like Terry Butcher taped up. But he was superb, he was the tournament top scorer, and you could tell then that he was going to be a serious player on the world front, and he's proved that. He's went on to have multi-million-pound moves, from club to club. But for me, he was definitely the standout in the opposition team, and I suppose in our team, we had a great team as well, and you had Jeff Hendrick, stood out for us. Obviously John at the back, Matt Doherty, guys like Anthony Ford, Sean Murray, who's with me at Dundalk. Why is it everyone on our Ireland team has gone on to have a reasonable career, and some have done better than others. But in that tournament is also we were missing Shane Duffy and Robbie Brady. So if I had one regret from that tournament, I would have loved to seen us with a full squad available. We had had Robbie, and we had had Shane. I'm not saying we would have won it, but it would have been, interesting to see would things have been different, because they're obviously colossal players and went on and are still having fantastic careers. Shane played in some of the qualifiers, and so did Robbie. But for whatever reason, whether they weren't available for the finals, there were certainly big misses for us.